Oh, rinse it off?
The car doesn't smell like jizz.
That's a big thing, guys. When you have a netted net rather than like the silicone nets, you definitely want to rinse them all because they get to the funk
this
on
foam
them.
and this fabric starts stinking so bad, bro. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Like it can't even hardly get it off.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not too worried about it, bro. That's why I got a truck. The bed of my truck stinks pretty bad.
It's better than it was.
Okay, so
Gotta bite. I think I got a lot of stress on my mind. It's a nice day to go. Yeah, I gotta line up a caller, the whole team.
And I guess I thought that it was my job to be miserable because I felt responsible for these guys and losing them to suicide back here in the States. And that's, like I said before, not rational. These are all I didn't realize that at the time. These are things that I pieced together later, or some of the therapists helped me figure out. And I think that part of the I got lucky. Like a lot of guys that I work with or come across with somebody, because naturally over the years, I've just gotten into what they call crisis intervention or helping, veterans who are struggling, and I don't do anything other than what everybody did for me. Just kind of hold their hand and take them through the process. If they don't have benefits, hook them up with resources. If the ranch can do something, now we have that. We can set up something for them, whether it's fishing or anything. But the question that I always ask them, and I started seeing a pattern of the answer that I would get, and I would always ask him what's he excited, and we'll get an answer. I like to watch TV or hang out with the family, or what gets you out of bed. What gets you up early? What gets you fired up? What are you willing to, go through some shit for? That's what I want to know. And then I would always get the one of two answers, almost 9 times out of 10. They would either say, I don't remember, or I don't know. And so one day, it just clicked, that I was we need to give people an opportunity to rediscover or discover that thing that is theirs, whether they never found it when they were kids, or or it's something fish their whole life, but you find it, as a young adult, and you're okay, then you have the ability to be passionate about it, dive into it, give yourself a purpose.
Douglas, you got a license?
Elda said
Thank you
that's
very
for you to
much.
wash your hands. You don't want to make the law.
Thank you.
He's friendly. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Have you guys been catching anything?
We just landed 2.
Oh yeah?
Those are the first 2 bites.
What are you catching?
Black drum, big drum.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the goal at least.
And is there a size limit?
Yeah, over 30, you can't take them home. Under 30 to 15 or 16, 15?
15 to 30
Yeah,
you can
15
keep.
to 30.
Really?
And then if it's over that, all you can do is catch and release. And we got a 31 and a half and 43 and a half is what he just caught.
Okay.
Good eating in there.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, they get a little wormy, I guess, from what I hear at that size, just their age and stuff. But under 30 inches, it's one of the best eating fish out here, for sure.
Oh man, I wish we would have brought our fishing poles. I didn't realize that state parks, as long as you're on land though, you don't need a license
That is
to fish
correct.
on shore.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as you're in the state park, whether you're connected to shore or on the pier, you don't need a fishing license.
Even on pier.
On the pier, yes.
I did not know that.
And you're you are with our Redford Foundation.
The Redford Ranch Foundation. Yes,
Well, thank you for your service.
thank you very much.
And
I just caught a nasty fish, but otherwise I shake your hand.
Yeah, I'd shake your hand too. Yeah, I don't care.
That's why
I
we're
think
a
it's
Redford fan too.
yeah. I'm a big Redford
too.
fan.
How
So
are you?
where is the foundation out of? Is there one in?
Out of Aransas Pass, yeah. So we have some property over here in between Aransas and Rockport that we're in the process of trying to fundraise to build a wellness center that does recreational therapies and adaptive sports for South Texas, really. So, south of San Antonio, we don't have those resources.
Yeah.
So they're trying to fill that gap and fill that need.
Well, that's fantastic.
Thank you very much. We hope we succeed. We got a long ways to go.
Yeah.
But
So you're part of it. You work there.
I
too?
started it. Yeah.
You started
Yes,
it?
ma'am, I did.
Well, that's great. I love it. I'll have to check you out?
Yeah, it's so redfordranch.org. It's
Yeah.
easy. Or Facebook is Redford Ranch Foundation. You'll find us. The big double R's like on that Tahoe out there.
Yeah.
It's pretty recognizable logo. But anywhere you see
I
that, that's
I
us.
saw that. And we're like, I'm a big fan. So.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We've got a long way to go. We do what we can right now as far as events. We do a lot of networking and fishing and just art therapy, therapy and stuff.
Do they? Boy, I'm just wondering what else they do. Do they take them fishing? Do you take them like boar hunting? And
if we have the opportunity, hunting in this area can be a little difficult to get the land or just access because just to where we are. But every time, whatever opportunities we can get through the community, we offer it to all the veterans and first responders of this area. We don't, as long as it's not a doctor's office or a pill, I'm on board. So we can.
I get
There's not a whole lot we're not willing to give a shot.
Yeah.
We're doing a windsurfing clinic in April.
Oh,
that'll be the first time we do that.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. I'll participate next year, but I'm looking forward to that. That's
Yeah.
something. We have a world-class wind sports, water sports here. So
Really?
yeah. So fishing's obviously the easy thing to do. We have lots of access to it, so that happens a lot. But we've sent veterans to go learn how to blow glass or. What else? Cool. Duck hunting. We've done some duck hunting.
There's a lot of duck hunting around here.
We sometimes just do networking events, like we'll do a crawfish boil and just have people get together.
Yeah.
Well,
what about Aransas wildlife area?
Aransas Wildlife Refuge. Yeah,
no, I mean because they were telling us they do like that wild boar hunt. And
they have like a lottery system.
Yeah,
that they draw.
because there's so many. I mean, we saw several out there.
Yeah, so you got over there, buddy?
Catfish.
Oh. Yeah. So they do like a lottery system. Anybody can actually sign up for that, but they do have I think 1 day or 2 days that are veterans and first responders and kids.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I was like, I hope they do that for you guys.
Yeah. Well, we're on our work at getting established, and we're coming to the end. This will be after this year will be our third full calendar year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you have a prosthetic?
Not yet, but I will soon.
Okay. Okay. Well, my nephew does, and he tried kneeboarding. It was kind of hard to do that, because we're from Wisconsin, so we get a lot of water spots.
My whole family's from Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah, here.
My family lives in the Hartford, about 45 minutes northwest of Milwaukee.
We know far from there.
Yeah. My parents grew up there, and that's where most of my family lives, except for me and my brother. We live around here.
I was going to say, how were you smart enough to pick Texas over Wisconsin?
Well, I don't know. My dad retired out of San Antonio, and I got in a boatload of trouble skipping school to come down here to fish. So I was always going to live here one way or another. That was the place I wanted to be.
Yep.
Well, that's good.
So yeah.
Another thing too is we're actually doing a video for the YouTube. I got a YouTube channel called Team Hard Life.
Okay.
So I'm the one helping them with.
Vet as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your service.
Thank you. But this is something that I wanted to do years ago. I just didn't have the proper motivation, I guess is the best way to put it.
It's the resource.
Resources.
So many things in this process happened. So when I bought that property, it was in the middle of COVID. It was during an ice storm in North Carolina, and I got delayed after my cervical fusion. I literally had hours to sign the closing documents, or I wouldn't have gotten that property. Wow. And I'm in the picture. I'm still in a neck brace, like iodine on my neck, like greasy hair. I haven't even showered. And then the notary was late because there was an ice storm and lost power, but she made it to my anyways. All it did, tons of crazy stuff has happened.
So you bought the land.
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
How much did you buy?
5 acres, as much as I could afford, as close to the water as I could get. That was the plan.
And how close did you get?
I'm just under, or right at a mile from the water. We're just outside of Aransas Pass city limits.
Yeah.
From Con Brown Harbor, we're a mile and change.
Okay.
Yeah, we drove through there yesterday.
Yeah, we just drove through there. That's great. Good job. Great, guys.
They are knocking that.
Yeah, so I mean, let's just go back. So, I guess I got to redo the story, or my story mostly. So prior to that, did we talk about meds at all, or have we not even gotten to that?
No, we haven't even gotten to it.
Okay.
Well, okay, so before on the other video, we got into the meds, but over here we have not gotten into
right.
the
That's
med
what I mean.
situation.
I just meant before, where we heard all the way up to a certain point.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so I guess I didn't get into anything. All right, so say what? Oh, Yeah, so
you left it. I was like, I left my cooler open.
yeah, so I grew up. I think I talked about my family already. I grew up in a military household and moved all over the place. My dad retired out of San Antonio, and that's kind of how Texas became home for me. I was born at Edwards Air Force Base in California,
Well, welcome to the right state.
yeah, hey man, dude. So I lived lots of places when I was young, and I don't know what it was about San Antonio and Texas. Like I was like, this is my home. Like, this is where I was always meant to be, and it was. I got this tattoo since I'm the only hell my mom ever raised because they all moved away and left me here. Yeah, it's the old Johnny Paycheck song. But anyway, so I think my story, most of my story starts, after returning home from Iraq, and we experienced a number of suicides that led up to. Well, I should say we experienced a number of suicides that I dealt with, let's say with air quotes, but I never processed. I wasn't okay with, and I was holding myself responsible for those things. So in November 22nd, right here, 2013. Christopher Harlan took his life. And that was my best friend. And we had just had like a come to Jesus that night before I left for work. I was working nights, and we agreed we were gonna. As soon as I got home from work, we were gonna pack up, not pack up, but head to the VA and check ourselves in or get help or whatever you want to call it. And that night he took his life. And I felt responsible. And I would beat myself up for going to work, and I sometimes still struggle. Like when I say it, it's like but I gotta talk to myself and be like, that's not true. That's not how it happened. And so the truth is, I was paying the bills, and I had to go to work. Otherwise, we would live on the streets. Things were not going so high. So, that caused me to. I don't know, it caused the bottom to fall out of my life. That caused everything to get real tough. But right after Chris's funeral, a guy named Travis, a group called Heroes on the Water, took me kayak fishing for the first time, like in December. Chris passed away in November, sometime in December. And I didn't catch a thing. I didn't even get a bite. These guys all caught fish. They knew what they were doing, but I didn't get a bite. And I looked at Travis and on our paddle back, and I was like, this is one of the coolest things I've ever done. And I was hooked, and I was obsessed. I spent every waking moment trying to do it. I would go down to the seawall and throw top waters just to learn how to walk the dog like till my arms were numb. Just trying to figure it out. And in January that year, I took 30 days of like medical or unpaid leave off of work just to try to process things. I was already on some medications and like in a little bit of therapy at the Corpus VA. And I fished like 28 of those 30 days, and I think that like saved me probably because I got obsessed. I got passionate. Remember that spot? Well, yeah. So I think that saved me because I got passionate. I got hooked on it. I spent every waking moment planning or prepping or tying gear or watching YouTube videos or on Google Earth planning for the next trip. And that was through all the appointments. Then, I was still struggling. I was burning bridges in my personal life because I was self-medicating with like alcohol and that synthetic marijuana at the time, and I wasn't even willing to admit that to people at the time. So I kicked that, and I was having a bunch, and I moved to Wisconsin to like live with my family and get help, right? And pause it. So, anyways, get help, and my parents lived in Wisconsin, so I went up there. So I checked in on Milwaukee VA, and they proceeded to pump me full of drugs, give me tons of drugs. I don't know exactly how many I started off with, but when it got bad, I was on 14 or 15 at the same time. Jeez. Different ones. And then I was still, I don't even remember much of that time. Like I was still things were real fuzzy, and I remember I was fighting with my parents, and I tried to kill myself. I swallowed a whole bottle of sleeping pills in front of them, and that wound me up in the lock ward and on inpatient treatment for the next almost 2 years. And I was trying everything, and kept adding pills, and I was against the pills at first, but then there was this one time when somebody told me like that I wasn't invested in getting better. I wasn't invested in my treatment because I wasn't willing to take the meds and try them. So I guess that's what I needed, and they needed, they knew what they needed. Anyways, I took that as a challenge, and so I wrote them a blank check, and I was like, I'll try anything, whether it was therapy or meds or up in the dose or down in the dose or adding a new one. I just went along with it, and I didn't realize how bad I had gotten, but I was like passing out all the time. I was drooling on myself. I was just not present in life at all. I didn't feel sad or mad or anything. I felt nothing. And then, that continued to get worse. And then, like, people would, it was strange because people would see me, like, when I, in between my doses, when I was interacting with people, and I was somewhat coherent, somewhat lucid. So then, like, a lot of people around me thought I was on opiates or, I was doing something, right? Which I don't blame them. It was pretty rough. And one time at the ER, this little woman who was a doctor, she sat in front of me and she told me, like, if you keep taking this cocktail of drugs, you're going to go to sleep and never wake up. For some reason like that, her saying that to me, like, the look on her face or whatever, like, scared me. I was like, oh shit, like, maybe something is wrong or whatever. And like,
was that like you didn't want to follow down the same path, that others chose by taking their life?
Yeah, well, I knew I didn't want to do that, but that was part of what I was struggling with, was that, like, I was thinking about it a lot, man. I would, like, imagine myself dying in these crazy ass ways, like, like a brutal accident or something or whatever, like, I just was kind of focused on that for a long time. I was on the pills, and I didn't understand it because I never really had been like that ever in my life. I never had thought about that ever until even after my friends were killing. I never thought about killing myself. It wasn't until I was on the drugs that I, like, thought about that stuff, or, like, I don't want to say thought about it, but, like, considered it. You know what I mean? I think everybody probably thinks about something like that at one time when they're having a tough day or whatever, but
oh yeah,
I don't mean that, just the thought passing through your head. I mean, like,
I think I actually
imagining it, planning it.
Planning it,
yeah.
yes.
Well, and then, obviously,
planned it out, how I was going to do it.
And then at the one point, I went through it, and I tried, and I remember having, like, regret while I was, like, waiting to die. That was weird. But then I was also too stubborn to do anything about it. I, like, didn't want to take my parents and take them to the hospital or anything, but thankfully they did, obviously. And I woke up. I'm still here today, obviously, and was unsuccessful, which is what started me on the journey of trying all types of therapies. Man, I've been, you name it, I've done it. That was part of the, I wrote them a blank check for not just pills, but therapy. I went to CBT, CPT, EMDR, exposure therapy, group therapy, individual, like, I even did that Native American sweat lodge. I tried everything, man. I was willing to give it a shot. So then things were, like, still getting worse, and I met, I had this lady from Semper Fi Fund. She was a nurse, and she was, like, helping me advocate for myself and just try to, I don't know, make sense of things and be a support system and checking on me. And so she would, like, interact with me when I was, like, super doped up, and sometimes when I'd be at the VA, I wouldn't be as doped up because then I was, then I started, like, skipping doses because I was embarrassed at how drugged up I was and, like, couldn't function in front of people. So then that was really messing with me, was the going up and down on doses. And they robbed the crab side or what?
No, they crushed it.
Yeah.
Feel it. Feel crushed it.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, he already had gotten to it.
Yeah. And shit. Yeah, I'm the worst.
Talking about the being embarrassed with you.
Yeah. So then I stopped taking, I would, like, miss doses or skip doses. Like, I remember one time the girl I was dating was like, "Hey, can you not take your meds because we were going somewhere that night?" And I was like, that was, like, the first time, I remember, like, starting to think, like, get self-conscious about that. So then I was isolating a lot more, and And Donna, you know, her name was Donna. She suggested I go to this program in Southern Maryland, and they gave me this book called "Your Drug May Be Your Problem." And they were like the first people who ever told me that, like, thinking about suicide and suicidal attempts and ideations and stuff were sometimes a side effect of these pills that I was on. Like, more than one. Like, probably 6 or 7 of the different pills I was on, that was a side effect. Possible side effect, right? So in that week-long deal where they were, you know, there was other veterans there, and everybody there was on a bunch of drugs, you know, like it wasn't just me. But I was the only one like falling asleep all the time, at least, that I knew of. And there was one night where I stormed out of that hall. I don't know what they had said, but they said something enough for me to feel like I was like thinking, I was like, this is I'm poisoning myself. I'm killing myself. Like, you can't expect me to keep taking these pills after now I know this or whatever kind of deal. And so I threw them all away. You know, I destroyed them all somehow. I think I might have flushed them or something because we had to go get them, like go to the ER that night and get them re-prescribed. Because you can't shit can 15 drugs overnight without causing serious medical issues.
That's what I was just about to ask. Like, you know, why if they're so adamant about getting you off, but
because there's a safe way to do it, you know. And I asked the VA. I was like, hey, I want to come off these pills. Like, I want to get off a lot of these medications. So they told me, they were like, you know, we'll put you on inpatient and we'll get you off of them all, but it's only gonna be like a 30-day stay, you know, and then you'll be off of all the pills. And because then I didn't really trust any of those people, so then I asked my nurse and the people from the organization I trusted, and they were like, that's a bad idea. Like, you could have some serious issues with detoxing that fast, and possibly death even. But the one medication that I did cold turkey was benzodiazepines, and that literally will kill you if you cold turkey them. And so I think that kicked off a whole boatload of side effects that I was having while I was coming off all these pills. Some pretty extreme stuff, honestly. And then
how long did it take you to finally kick it safely?
Probably a total of 2 years when I took my last dose. Actually, I can tell you when I took my last dose. I have it saved on my calendar. Yeah, probably somewhere around the 2-year range. Last dose of medications, June 15th, 2019. Or no, that's not, no. Sorry. June 5th, 2021. That's when in 2018 is when I started the countdown of how long they would take, or what the projected timeline of getting off them.
So, quick question. How long were you on them compared to the time it took you to get off? I know you said it was about 2 years.
2015 I started, or yeah, so no, 2014 is when I got on them, right after Chris died, and I didn't start detoxing off them until after. I didn't talk about the falls yet, until after the falls in May of, but no, I guess right before that. So right in 2018 is when I started detoxing off of them.
So almost about the same amount of time you were on them, it took you about the same amount of time to get
Just
off
about,
them.
Yeah. And then when they would reduce the dosages, man, sometimes I would have some crazy symptoms, man, like literal psychotic episodes, like not remembering who I was, where I was, or
I've heard that too.
doing like wild stuff, man. Like, and then we haven't even gone into any of the crazy shit I did trying all the pills, dude. Like, I would come out sometimes in the middle of the night, and I called the cops a couple of times. I thought somebody broke into my house, but I rearranged the house in my sleep. You know, like Ambien, I think it was Ambien. Yeah, or like one morning I woke up and the entire fridge was open and emptied into like the living room. Yeah, and no recollection at all. You know, how I didn't get hemmed up for something is amazing, honestly. But in May of 2018, you know, I was still coming off those pills, but I was living on my own. You know, I had people who would help me. They'd come by like even a couple of times a day to help me with the pills and stuff. And I fell and knocked myself out 2 days in a row. And I got these big old scars on my forehead from. And when I woke up on the second day, I couldn't use my legs. Like, I don't know, I just couldn't use them. I couldn't. It wouldn't work.
So like you fell and like hit the floor? Or you
So no, I fell down a flight of stairs, like concrete stairs, like out the front door, I guess, and crawled back inside because there was blood everywhere. Like somebody stuck a pig in my house. But then my friend found me the first time, and I don't know who found me the second time because I woke up, at the hospital. Right. And so I went through a ton of like big workups. When I say workups, I mean like brain tests, heart tests, like you name it, trying to figure out like what was going on with me. And then, they couldn't find anything, so they diagnosed me with conversion disorder. And what that is like, basically like it's a psychosomatic symptoms, like your brain is manifesting these symptoms, but they can't find a physical reason why that should be. So that really messed with me, because like I took that as like there's nothing wrong with you, and I'm like, well, clearly something's wrong. Like, so that would cause me to kind of put myself in scenarios. I would set myself up where like, my feet were gonna work, or I was gonna eat shit, like I was gonna fall. So I was like, well, if I'm faking it, then surely I will not fake it to avoid, getting hurt more. But then I would just fall. I would eat shit. So I kept falling and having all these injuries, and eventually my left side came back great. I've spent my saving grace, how I got by. But I was still, even from my foot all the way down to like my shoulders and neck, I was having like trouble with like controlling my muscles on the right side, like crazy cramps and muscle spasms that would just not go away for like days. And that the muscle spasms in my ankle didn't go away for years. And while I was like looking for answers and stuff, my foot became so deformed that I was diagnosed with acquired clubfoot. And so at that point I was only given one option, and that was to do a total fusion. And so they totally fused my ankle together, rebuilt it, and I had no movement. And, it's a prosthetic foot with skin on it. There's no movement up, down, left, right at all. And it just still hurt, But then, finally I got to see this doctor outside of Camp Lejeune who did what they call brain mapping on me. And they did all these tests and put like this cap on you and test all the nerve or like how much they're measuring the electricity in your brain, like what's functioning properly, what's not, what's firing and what's not. And after they do all that, they create like it's called brain mapping. They create a map of your brain. And so he was able to pinpoint exact locations, like on the back left side of my skull and the front left side of my brain, where my brain rattled off, which like I hit my head like on that way. And so like it all adds up. And eventually he was the one who helped me get the right treatment and start getting treated for brain injury instead of PTSD and conversion disorder. And I started actually improving. I still have a lot of struggles on the right side with like muscle engagement and control, and I don't know how to say that. I just, sometimes I do every day really still struggle with that. And like, so for years I was compensating, like trying to get weight off this leg. After those surgeries, I gained an inch of length on this leg. So, my hips were getting messed up, my back was messed up, my upper back was messed up. I had a cervical fusion because I lost strength in my hands because I was like in horrible posture all the time. And so I was like still heading downhill fast. Jason, why don't you cut something? Yeah, I saw that. Jason, damn it. Back at it again.
Well, that was 2 drums that hit those 2 different bases.
Yeah.
Had half crap and back. Both of them came flat at the time. Doubling up and or
I saw you put crab and sea lice on one, or like
well, no, crab on one, sea lice on the other. But what I'm
you
doing
didn't have one that you had both on?
No, I don't put 2 baits on one. Over here it's one or the other.
I thought I saw one where you had
They probably had fish bites.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, the blue and white fish bites. Yeah.
You say we're gonna pause right now?
Yeah, just so I can rebate. I don't want to be. I know
I don't wanna
you
lose anything. Yeah.
Well, it's not that. It's. I'm interviewing you, and for me to walk away to go bait a rod.
Fucking Albert go.
They're interested in fishing when they don't know the whole story. You know?
I think I'm hitting all the points again. If
Yes,
there's something,
and
if there's
I
something
think-
that I'm not, then like you can pause me and remind me because I'm trying. This is part of what I'm practicing is getting better at telling the story and not.
Well, I think you're actually telling it a lot better the second time.
Because I remember the sequence and like and stop backtracking so much.
Yeah, and you're not. Since we've already talked about it once, it's kind of giving you a little path to kind of remember it.
Yeah,
and
fresh.
And you're introducing a lot more pertinent information. So that's why I'm really
It's
not
tough
having
sometimes, man. It's such a complicated thing that happened, and that the part. I think part of the hard problem is that I have had to piece a lot of this together from what people have told me because I was so doped up, dude. I didn't remember shit. Like, some of this stuff I'm telling you, I don't remember, but I've seen it on video, or I've seen the pictures, or I know the person that took me to the hospital that day. Like, it's yeah, and that shit fucks with me, man. I feel like you're a retard or something.
Actually, that's something that we could talk about too.
Yeah.
Back up because I know we all go through it. Well, actually, I'll bring it on there so that way it's fresh on our mind what we're about to do. Because even now, that's still a struggle for all of us, and we're not even.
Nah, man, the memory is tough, man. And you feel, I don't want to feel into it because we're gonna talk about it. But it's embarrassing. It really is. Well, and then people don't believe you either. There's a lot. Like it's like you have to go through this phase of it happens so much, you lose your friends and everything, and then you start being open about what you're struggling with, and then they come back around, or they don't believe you. Like, but yeah, I'm telling you, I had a lot of friends who like stopped talking to me because I would. Say, hey, I'm going to be at the pier or whatever. I'll meet you here. And I never show up, never answer the phone. And they're like, you're such a dick. And I'm like, no, I'm passed out. And I'm like, I was going to be there. I promise. Or just so drugged up, I don't even realize I missed it until they call me like, what the fuck? Where you at?
Almost done here.
Well, that dude left, so maybe we'll start popping off here.
Which one?
The oyster boat.
Oh. Oh, come on. Well, that was too drum for sure. Like, I did that because no other fish can get the whole bait in their mouth, crush it, without leaving any marks other than the crush mark, you know?
Yeah.
And I saw it, kind of happening, but I was wanting for them to go screaming, so I didn't do nothing. So with
I'm at the falls of 2018, and I talked about surgery already. So I already have my foot fused, and I talked about the cervical fusion. Okay, so that puts me back to here. I skipped the kayak instructor stuff, but all that stuff I guess doesn't really matter. That's stuff that can come later after questions or whatever.
And I had the perfect question right now to
start it off.
Yeah, and I totally forgot it too.
So, well, I don't know if I talked about how I should. But we can go to this, and then I can touch on like how the ranch, where I got the idea, because I think we missed that from the.
Well, I think we were still talking about like the medication and how it was actually treating you for the bump of your brain.
So once I started getting TBI treatment, man, my life started improving. Like, come on, boys. My life started improving. Like they were treating my gut, man. Like pills messed up my gut. I wasn't even digesting food. I wasn't absorbing nutrients. I was like wasting away. I was losing muscle mass and like just fat. It was tough. But I was also so doped up, I was living off of gas station food. So I was like very unhealthy. You know, at the time I was pre-diabetic. And I didn't even care at the time. You know, but that's pretty rough for a 20-something-year-old to be pre-diabetic.
At 20?
Yeah, I wasn't even 30 yet, I don't think. If I was 30, you know what I mean? Like, or 31 maybe. But, yeah, so he started treating me, you know, checked my hormone levels, man, started healing my gut. I started exercising more. I was able to be more active because I had these people around me who, like, were empowering me and not telling me, like, we don't know what's wrong with you. So I was doing more, you know, and I had maintained kayaking through this whole journey. You know, that was my one constant through all of this to today, you know, kayak fishing. And then it, you know, turned into, like, I realized that I really loved helping veterans and helping other guys and I guess doing what those people did for me, you know. And I definitely wouldn't be here today telling this story if there weren't a bunch of people who had taken a chance on me, saw something in me, and put up with my shit. You know, because there was a long time where that's what it was putting up with shit. But so like I said, when I got off the meds, you know, and then I had the first surgery for the ankle, and then I had the cervical fusion. Then I was more mobile, you know, and I was doing more, and I was like getting around more, but I was still struggling. I would get really tired by the end of the day because I was dragging this foot around behind me, like, and I was having all these compensation issues of, you know, pain everywhere. And so I went to this adaptive training facility in Dallas, right? And I was working out with these other veterans, and some of them were double amputees, some of them were single amputees. One of them was completely blind. One of them had no legs. You know, he was very high up. Got him. You know, he didn't have prosthetics or anything, and they were all running circles around me. You know, and I was not happy about it. Like,
was that kind of more of a reality check? Like,
yeah, oh yeah. Like I knew
off.
things were bad, but you know, it was tough to. You know, I'm sitting there, I'm doing the same exercises as an amputee because I don't have movement in my foot, so I'm doing the same adaptations that they are. I'm working out in the same group as they are, as them. But they're running circles around me. And then midway through the week, it was like Wednesday or Thursday, we did a pool day. And that pool day, you know, it was like a walk-in pool, and I worked out for like an hour. And as I was walking out the pool, I started getting the pain in my ankle again, like when I started getting, water might have been past my waist or whatever. It started bearing more weight. And I immediately, right then and there, I was like, that's it. We're taking the foot. I'm done. Like, I've read these stories about guys chasing surgeries, you know, 20, 15 surgeries, trying to get their foot to fuse and save it. It's like, I guess because these guys are around me that are succeeding and competing at a high level and just are successful humans, and they have less limbs than me, I'm like, well, screw it. What's the point of having the foot? So I talked to my surgeon, and I elected to amputate my foot 2 months ago. And so I am in a much better place pain-wise. You know, I'm not in near as much pain as I was before. The pain that does come, the phantom pain, is, you know, it'll get better, more than likely, but it's intense. And I feel my club foot. That's kind of been a head game. I feel it before the first surgery, so I was unprepared for that. That sucked.
Wow.
Or it does suck when it happens.
The missing limb kind of deal.
Yeah, they call it the phantom pain or phantom sensations or what have you. But overall, I'm super happy with my choice. You know, once I get into a leg, it'll be a different ball game. But you know, so throughout all that process, you know, I think I went to that Heroes on the Water conference, and I talked about Chris, and I talked about kayaking and how that helped me, and then I told my friend Joe at that, and that would have been 2015 or 2016. I was like, I'm gonna build a place like this for veterans someday. And we were just at like a camp they had rented out. It wasn't like purpose built or anything. But that's kind of where the idea for all this started. That is where the idea for this started. It's something I had held on to throughout, you know, the years of everything I was going through. I was like, maintained that that's something I wanted to do. So in 20,
and what do you mean you wanted to do? Why did you want to do it?
because somebody did it for me and it worked. And I'm like, well, because I try not to overcomplicate things, and I feel like it's simple. Like, if we have it worked for me. Is it going to work 100% of the time? No. But if you get 10 me's who go and, you know, pass it on or pay it forward, whatever you want to call it, that's a big ripple effect. Like, that's massive. You know,
I guess what I'm trying to ask is why the Redford Foundation? Like you see passion and healing through passion and purpose. So you're
Hey. Jason! Hope you ate your Wheaties. He's a big one.
yeah. Ready? Yeah. There you go. Remember the guy at the line, left to right, please. Let's see. Come on. Oh yeah. Get me. Oh, let's do this. There you
I
go.
gotta answer your question. Because why passion and purpose? Well, the veteran that's standing right in front of you, hooked up to a fish, live here how long?
2 years.
Huh?
2 years.
2 years. How many fish other than hardheads have you caught?
2.
2. All right. And so we had our monthly fish meetup that we just did. Jason met some other veterans at that event. 2 days later, went out and is now sitting in second place at the tournament at Causeway Pier. That's what it's about.
Yes, getting them to do something else other than sit at home in their own
But
thoughts.
I didn't put him on that fish. The people he met at that event put him on that fish, helped him. You know, that's where he was in communing with them. Like, that is the most perfect example I can give of what we're trying to accomplish.
Yes. Look at that smile.
Oh,
Oh,
He's running into that one?
he's on to that one.
under or over?
I don't know yet. Give me a sec. Hold on, real quick. I think it's just. Oh, he actually might be on the line itself. Don't be afraid, man. Pull on that fish. Show him who's boss. Come on. He's all I'm enjoying it. All right. Also, too, you don't have to go back so fast. Like crank. Slower on the thumb. Real as fast as you want. Let's see. That's on camera. Yeah. Oh, you're good. You're good. Yeah. Now he knows he's hooked. Yeah.
You're definitely touching tips over there.
Yeah. Very nice. There we go. You still feel him on there or no? No, Doug.
No.
Okay, then he probably got off the line. He probably just bumped
went
into
that,
it.
he moved that way, so.
Good deal. Let's see. Yeah, he's already off. Yeah, he just came to the surface right there.
Yeah. Good side one.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, he's come on, fitchy.
It's hard to keep your train of thought when you're catching fish, so apologize to everybody.
Right. Yep. Yeah.
I think you got a sea monster on the end of there.
There you go. Reel down, pull up.
For me, it's a little easier when I move that hand, or lead hand, like a little higher, personally.
Well,
like,
it's good to have it low like that because it keeps the rod from tilting left to right, and he can guide it. He gotta guide the line on.
I don't know what it is about. For me, it's like I get more wobble. I gotta have like my arm almost like it's like I brace it. I guess I lock my elbow out a little bit and brace that way, kind of.
But are you using a non-level wind reel?
Well, yeah, I'm talking about these. Yeah, but that's only like the only time I do that is offshore kayak fishing with like seaglers, but they're little,
Yeah, but they got the worm guide on.
No. Well, also my rods are acid wrapped too, so or spiral wrapped, whatever you call it. So that, but I did that purposely because the wobble hurts my wrist real bad. I have to go around that bad boy.
Yeah, don't worry. Ooh, he's a big one, bro. That's got to be at least another 40. Look how dark he is. Oh yeah. Ooh, it's a massive one. Oh, that's a big drum, bro. That's a big one. Yep. Reel down some more and pull back right there. Now give him slack. Give him slack. Give him slack. No, don't crank. Give him slack. Back off the line. The lever drag down. There, okay. Dude, with one leg, gents. With one leg. Another 40-inch plus.
That's a beast, dude. He's dark.
That's another. That's
ghost white color like a.
That's a bay drum right there. They get more sun. So.
The color different.
Yep.
Hey, you're in that tournament.
Yeah, but he.
Oh, not here though, right?
Not
Here tournament.
Yeah, it's only over there.
Yeah, that's bigger than one.
Oh yeah,
might
this
be a
one's
little
way bigger than that other one.
Thank you.
Jason, I'd say you're having a pretty good week, homie.
Three personal bests in a week.
I'd say
Second drum ever.
I'd say you're having a pretty good week. I'll get you a good picture this time.
All right.
Picture at the pier is not bad, but
So plus
it's not great.
I just ran 30 freaking yards with a 30-pound fish.
Well, I'm gonna get behind you because the sun's that way, so I want you to come over here when you're
43 yards. 43 inches. That much smaller than this.
That's what she said.
Yep. Well, you ready to hold it?
Yeah. So it's got me.
I gotta get behind you though. For a good shot.
Right there. You got him?
Yep.
Get over here. This side, please. Oh, yeah. There we go. Now just drop him over the side. There you go. Right on.
See you, big dog.
Yeah. God, that's massive. 243s.
I don't want your nasty.
I don't want your nastiness on me. Yeah. So that one hit on.
There you go, big dog.
That was the half crab with pantyhose.
Now that's a picture right there, bro. I mean, the Polaroid or whatever is not bad.
No,
But, you know, they just don't. There you go. That's your profile picture. Absolutely.
Seems a little that's a little bit different with doing that reel than I'm going ahead and do.
Yeah, man. When you got the
And
right,
I gotta concentrate.
the right gear for the job, it becomes more natural, and it's like. It took me a while. When I got those Sieglers, I was very uncomfortable for like the first year. Like the first year that I was running them, I was uncomfortable, not confident, but you get much better, more confident. The only thing that you just gotta learn is I just always keep my thumb on the spool because I never forget if I took the drag off or something, and that's what'll get you.
I was reeling, it wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, it'll. But I sent them back to Siegler a couple of times before I started figuring out what I was doing.
Yeah. I never had a fish.
Not send them back to get service because I was messing them up.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say returned them. I didn't return them.
It's his gear too, so I don't want to have a whole string on the right side.
Well, that idea definitely worked.
The blue tail. Love it, dude. You can really see it on the deck picture.
Oh yeah, that's real nice looking. That's beautiful.
I've never ever seen a big black drum with that blue of a tail like that.
Oh yeah, we started seeing them. Freaking. That means they're eating a lot more crab.
I heard that that's not true. So
for the iodine?
well, because everything everything has iodine, and actually shrimp has more iodine in it, like significantly more than crab does. What is he? He's fishing. He's a biologist or some shit, but he works for U.S. Fish and Wildlife, and he's the only one who's giving me this answer. But he told me that it is a like it's a color change that happens when the fish goes into like a what they call a predation state, which means it's actively feeding, like actively looking for food and hunting. And that supposedly it's, I don't know exactly why, but that's what he said, they are on the prowl, like they're looking for food actively.
Right in the corner. The one on the right.
Left or right?
Right?
No.
Silver. But just feel for him. Make sure he turns away from you before you set that hook.
Yeah, man. I've caught a lot of fish inside that sandbar and off this oyster reef over here in the kayak. Right where those dudes are. Well, not him. And then over there, what is that? Shamrock or what do they call that?
No, I have no idea, bro.
I paddle over there a bunch too. It's pretty good.
I was 48 years old. I've got the two biggest fish in my life.
Last week.
Hey, it just started, dude. Hey, this happens every year.
Every guy in my life, I'm gonna let it get rid of all this water because you had to burn that.
Open the fucking bail and suck it down, baby.
Hi. Catching anything?
Drum, yeah.
Yeah.
What? Drum? Really? Black drum? Yeah.
Hello.
You know it.
How are you? Hello. All right.
A question. I don't know if there's a place in closer to the land that is like sticks sticking up out of the water. You know what those mark?
People,
channel marker?
Yeah.
Just channel?
It can be that, but sometimes people just put them to mark off a spot. If it's close, sometimes waders put them to mark off a drop off. You know, people put PVC pipes out there all the time.
Oh, really?
Or
Okay.
it could be an old pier structure or something, but usually if it's PVC pipe, it's a marking something.
Okay, yeah.
Whether-
It almost looks like it's just bamboo, but there's like a square of them, so I was just wondering.
And out here, there's no telling. It's really shallow. Back in the day, there used to be all types of wooden platforms built up and stuff, and tons of random stuff out here. This is all old shoreline, so.
I'm looking that way and I
Pretty
see
much
a whole
untouched.
bunch of, that's got to be a little sand lot with a bunch
Yeah,
of
there's
birds on it right there.
a
Yeah.
big sandbar that goes around.
Goes all the way across, yeah.
There's a channel that runs right next to it. It's a bunch of oyster reefs up over here.
Huh. Well, good luck to you guys. Hope
Thank
you
you.
catch a lot.
Yeah.
Have fun.
That's the plan.
I hope so.
So what we were.
I have no clue. I forgot completely.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
So, why do we want to build Redford Ranch, this facility? Number one being, you know, the main reason is that there's a major gap between what services the VA provides down here as opposed to what they provide in a more populated area like just San Antonio, 2.5 hours north of here, or Houston. You know, they have recreational therapy services, adaptive sports, and they have more organizations who are just organizing stuff like this, you know, to show up at. It doesn't have to be complicated, you know, this isn't magic that we're doing out here, you know, but given the opportunity, you set it up and you make it, you know, free for them to participate, like, they're going to show up, you know. And so the why of building this place is because, you know, I realized at some point through all this, when I started getting better, that kayaking and that passion that I had for fishing and kayaking, and then even teaching that fish. I love to teach people about paddling and kayaking and take them out and share it. Like, that is what kept me going. It wasn't to kick the pills. It wasn't to get healthier. It's just, I really enjoyed this, man. I was very, there's no other word than passion. I had the passion, and my purpose was to go out, chase fish, and teach other veterans how to do the same. And so that's, what I wanted to do, and it was take veterans fishing, but I had, I guess been around the block enough to realize that, there's a lot of organizations out there.
Right there in the corner. Ooh, that's a big one. Don't thumb the spool. Don't thumb the spool. Let the reel do its job. Because you can kiss that thumb goodbye. Oh, that's a big one, bro. Oh, you can leave the line on. The quicker on, just clear the line out. You ain't gonna hurt nothing.
Yeah, he pulled some line.
No, he's all, hey, how you doing? Glad the mic wasn't on me in there. Oh yeah, that's a big fish, bro. That's a big fish.
He's strong. It's a big one.
That is.
He's got some weight on him.
Yeah.
So you give your arms a rest, right?
Watch it be like a 22-inch.
There's no way. That'd be wild.
I've seen some fish, man, that
You're
get
the
surprised.
strongest.
They just surprise the hell out of you. They got the fight in them for sure. Tired yet?
Not tired enough to give up. I just about broke it. Maybe. Yeah, he's not happy about being hurt. Weird.
Oh, you just turned left.
Yeah. It's just not the same.
We got to land him on either the right or the left side. Over here, there's parts of the pier that stick out. Yeah. It's really hard to land. All right, good. He's going left.
Don't have to go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Don't stop.
There you go.
Yeah, we got that bicep burn going, baby.
100 more yards, bro. 100 more yards. Oh, that's a moose. Another big old. Ooh, that's a big head on that one. Going left, right there. Lock him up.
Very nice show you put on for us.
Woo. That one had some fight in him.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't happy. I don't think he's quite as big though.
He's in the 40s.
This head.
still.
Look at that big
I don't
old.
think he's as big as the other two.
That one took a dive here on the pier too. See the
Yeah.
fins that are broke.
What is that?
The black drum. Digging.
Let me check the.
Nice.
42.
43. Right at 43.
Yep. Yeah.
343.
Got supper for tonight?
Now we got to release it.
Yeah, he's too big.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's too big.
Yeah. 13
All right,
inches big as
hold
that.
on. Before you put this thing in my hands, let's be ready for a photo. All right. I'm a big dude, but I ain't that strong. You put that one down.
Can I take one of them with you?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Who's still in camera? You can lift that tail end of that stick that's hanging up. That you can tilt it forward. There you go. Oh, excuse me. Got it.
Nice. Bye-bye. There you go.
That's what you break open and use the inside for bait?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Well, actually, I can use the whole thing whole, but right now they're willing to take the half, so I get two baits out of one. So.
Oh, all right. I said I was going all the way to the end.
Yep.
I gotta go touch it so I can say I did it.
Right.
All right, I made it.
There you go.
It's a long pier.
What? It's a red rock. No red.
Very long. Didn't even know it was here. And we've been to this campground before, but I think we drove the other direction instead of this way.
Yeah, you can miss it in Goose Island if you're not headed to the right spot.
Uh-huh.
Big park.
I guess.
There's another one right there.
Jason, you're up.
Oh,
Woo! Come on, bro.
I need a big one, bro. I need a picture.
Oh, boom. Now he's on. Now remember that. There you go. And just slow down your thumb going left to right. Don't gap it out so much. Get like 5 or 6 cranks per.
Yeah, I didn't do the best job of feeding the line on that one because it's hard when you're pulling and pulling as opposed to just reeling.
Will they need their net? I don't want to be standing. Ooh, that's one
So I'm
huge
going
net.
with that right as fast as you're cranking it. Like that.
Wow.
Nice and slow with this, but crank as fast as you
There's
want.
nothing.
Good, good. It's just fun to
Slow
see
it down.
somebody catch some.
Yeah.
You crank fast, but slow this down. You want to put them side by side. See how it's like 1/4 inch? Go like 1/16 of an inch. Go. Put that wood to it.
Give him what for?
Alright, go left. go down, crank fast, so you don't give him no slack. Yeah. Sorry, he's on another line right now.
My arm's in the cast.
Right.
Are we catching something?
Yes.
We hope so. It's in the picture.
Biggish.
Oh, it's biggish. Yeah. It was about 80 yards to start, but it took off with probably another 15, 20 yards of line. So, but he's not used to this type of gear, so he's enjoying the play. It's a big fish, so it's,
Yeah, how many times are fine, man?
it's a big
You're
one.
fine, dude. I'm just messing with
No,
you.
it's the alarm clock going.
Oh, it's the alarm.
I'm supposed to be.
I was like, dude, you have the longest ringtone ever, dude.
His phone is an alarm.
How do you touch the screen? I don't know.
Stop.
Just touch the side of it, yeah. That's the time I'm supposed to leave.
Yeah. You know, shit happens.
There he is. He's coming up. Yeah, keep walking until we.
Oh, I see it now.
Yep, keep going. Keep going.
Stand right where you are. I'm sorry. You're good.
He's broken, Doug. He's broke.
There he goes.
A little more. A little more. Slack him off.
Slack. Down. Slack. There you go. Oh, got him.
That's big.
Yes, sir.
What kind is that?
Black drum.
Black
Excuse me.
drum?
Excuse me.
And that's too big to keep, I suppose.
Yes, they're illegal. They got to be 30 inches or less.
Yeah. They're all got their own little
Why can't you
uniqueness.
pitch big ones?
Because it's illegal to do it. They have,
If there was a slot to keep between 15 and 30 inches, you can take those home. Over 30 inches, they're like what they consider breeding stock. You're supposed to let them live
Oh,
and
sure.
populate and keep
I wanna
fish
take a
coming for
picture,
years.
too.
Yeah. You're going good. I do.
36.
How much?
36.
What does it have to be?
30 inches or less. And this one's 36. Can you watch out your black?
I know.
Step back.
That was a little bit different reeling in this one.
Yeah, you'll get used to it.
Oh yeah, it definitely felt a lot easier.
A lot better job on the cranking.
Yeah. I said it's
Whoa. Slippery.
They're slimy. Extremely.
Look at them.
Grab him by underneath the jaw.
Yeah, the gill plate. Or
You can do that, yeah.
I just grab the soft section.
Don't. Yeah, like that, and right there by the anal fin. Right there. There you go.
Come forward a little bit. Right there.
You want to turn this way a little bit? There you go.
You'll be a hero in Wisconsin.
You're good to go, boss.
We don't have them that big up there.
See you, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
That was
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
But so the why of Redford Ranch Foundation. Why do we need this facility here in South Texas? Well, because we don't have these resources available to veterans, first responders, or their families at the moment. You know, we have a small number of active duty here in the area compared to every base in the country probably. However, we still do have active duty Marines. We have active duty Army, Navy on base here as well, and these services, all of them, will be accessible to those guys as well and families. But the simple fact is that 2.5 hours north of here in San Antonio and Houston, they have adaptive sports, they have rec therapy, they have these resources that veterans can access, whether it's you know, it's simple stuff, man. It doesn't have to be complicated. Whether it's like a yoga group that gets, or a gym group that gets together, or a fishing group, or, you know, Dungeons and Dragons. Like, I don't care what you want to do. You know, like, I just want to build a place where we facilitate those things and give any organization that's already doing awesome stuff here a place to further their reach and reach more people. You know, ideally, if we fund it right, free of charge. You know, like, so the reason is because we're not done yet. People are still killing themselves. Guys are still dying. People are still struggling. And I believe wholeheartedly that if my friend Chris and other guys had resources like this and access to it, that they would still be here today. We ain't wasting no time.
You sure you're leaving, boss?
You guys using this spot right here?
Huh? No, you can. Go ahead. Ooh, got it. Increase lever drag. There you go. There. Ooh, yes, sir. There it is. Big fish on. Get him.
Yeah, you got that. I don't have to do that.
Hopefully we can get a double hookup because there's something else over here messing around over here in the back. And then we get serious and get a triple.
Could be really good. A good spot too.
I see him.
Got him? Yeah. Oh yeah. There you go, donkey. Post this video up. Oh yeah, getting that bow. Yeah, don't worry, if he goes this way, it's fine.
No, I went against him as soon as he went against me.
Not
Hey, big boy.
you're mine.
Oh, I think I felt that piling or the line slid across his body.
Yeah, whatever it is you're talking about that's out there. No, I'm talking about the end.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's just little stubs that makes it hard to get the net up, especially when you got 30, 40 pounds on the end of it. Oh yeah, he's still got fighting him. I saw him turn right there to turn off. Big golden drum too. Big goldie. Net definitely coming in handy.
Oh yeah.
Well, normally we would bring a drop net, but
Yeah.
this is definitely a lot easier.
You can use mine if you need it.
Huh?
You can use mine if you need it.
What?
Drop net.
No, we don't want that. It makes it harder to land fish.
What does it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my God, bro. Oh, that's definitely the biggest one of the day. That is a beast.
I can't see, so.
I got him. I stuck the head of the
I don't know
net
if he was
around
going
the
that
corner.
way or not. I was just trying
No,
to-
he was on that side, but I stuck the head of the net that way. All right, ready? Oh my gosh.
Hey, that might be.
Dude, that is the biggest
That's
one
a
of the
stud.
day.
Damn, that's big.
That is the biggest one
That
of the
might
day.
be the biggest drum I've seen in person ever.
Holy smokes.
And I already had my Facebook post. Now I gotta redo it.
I was just kidding, guys. Here's the real post.
That's a pretty one. I like when they're pretty and not ugly.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. chair, actually.
Come on, 45.
Go ahead. Dang, he's only 40.
He's thick though. He's
Yeah,
like
he's massive.
He's thick.
he's got some.
Almost 42. Ready?
No.
All right, good to go. Ooh yeah. Ooh wee. Let me know when y'all give. Y'all can tap.
Yeah, I love that color on that one. And that drum, dude. That was so deep. Ooh. Can't even. That's. Yo, I hope they're not all like that, dog. Oh, you got one.
Yeah.
All right, we got one.
That's
Hey.
why I took a couple because you know what it was. I was holding his camera and I thought I was videotaping.
You're up next, homie. I'm gonna smoke a cigarette, dog.
Oh.
So what I'm doing with the manual is, just so you can see, I'm tying the knot, and then I open it up, I flip it back on itself again. Then I try to figure the way where it's going to give me the most slack. Then I open it up again. The last one.
Fucking slime everywhere.
You're welcome.
Would you rather have slime or no slime? Meaning not catch any.
You know, and then the whole what the facility is a whole nother conversation, really. You know, it's be a one of a kind. As far as I know it, nothing else like it, really.
Especially in our area.
No, I mean, I'm sure something else exists somewhere in the country like it, but I just haven't come across it. It's like what makes us different a lot is that, well, assuming we're successful, obviously, but you know the way it's going to be accessible is going to be unlike any other building that I know of. You know, we're going to go way above and beyond what the standard ADA standards are. And not only that, you know, I spent the last decade almost making a list and asking people who, you know, are disabled in different ways, like, what do you wish somebody would have thought of or done when they designed this building or whatever? And so I've got a whole list of like stuff that they do wrong or whatever, or that's not done the right way. So like I think it's probably one of the few places that'll ever exist that's built basically by the end user. Like they're the ones who had all the input on what's there, what's built, how it's accessible, and you know, I don't know, maybe that's been done. I could be wrong. You know, it could have been done somewhere else. But most of the time, it's like some guy in an office, you know, who's never been in a wheelchair, or you know, some engineer or something like that. So I think that sets us apart big time. Is that when this thing's all said and done, my hope is to like raise the bar at what ADA and accessible means. You know, we should do better.
You know?
And Corpus is really bad about that. Unfortunately, we're behind the times on a lot of that stuff, and so that's a big reason why, you know, I'm just tired of it. It's not acceptable. You know, there should be no reason that we don't have encourage people who have physical disabilities and stuff to get out and do things. Or, you know, it's like we can encourage them all they want, but we don't give them shit to do.
Yeah.
You know, like simple things. Like I started playing wheelchair basketball. Like I'm working on trying to petition the city of Corpus Christi to just fence in a couple basketball courts. It's like, what's that guy going to do when the ball goes off the net into the grass?
Right.
Stare at it.
Right.
You know, he's paralyzed. Some of them. You know, like. And that's something I never thought of until I played, and then, you know, thankfully I can get out of the chair and go get it or whatever. But sometimes they're in a crew that only those guys can go. You know, there's nobody to go get it. Anyways, so simple stuff like that. You know, and Corpus just doesn't have a lot of amenities in that area at all. Not much less the coastal bend, and then the more rural you get, the farther south you get, the less you got. So that's just, you know, what we're lacking. The guys who live out in the country or between here and the valley, like, they got nothing. And so that's why this facility is unique, where we have housing on site. You know, we can have guys come in from 2.5, 3 hours away, and, you know, they don't have to show up at 3 in the morning. Just stay on site and participate in whatever programming they're going to do. You know, the place has a dedicated music therapy, art therapy room, and it's got a dedicated garage that has or barn, I guess you would call it, that has like a shop area with a teaching station and like 9 learning stations, so we can teach, I don't want to say trades, but skills. We teach woodworking, metalworking, you know, glass blowing, stuff like that. We've got a whole multimedia room, you know, that'll, like, for those computer nerds, you guys can code or whatever it is you guys do.
Right.
Like, you know, or
that'll definitely open up the hearts and minds, guys, to give it another chance at something else too. Because you got to think too.
Sometimes they never tried it.
How close were you to the end of your ropes before you finally hit it and said, "Hold on, I got to change direction"? And you're definitely right. By trying to catch them before they get to that barrier is why it's so important. So I definitely can see the light that it can provide for a lot of people that are lost in darkness right now. So I am definitely...
Well, my hope is that, you know, like, it's the whole package, you know, like, because when you're going to come, you know, everybody, that's something I think that the VA does, and they enable veterans, and they make them think they're broken and they can't be active anymore and they can't get out and do stuff, and that's a lie. That is a bold-faced lie, and no matter what your situation is, you can find a way to accomplish something, or do something, or be passionate about it, or get involved with your friends. Like, that's what adaptive sports is, you know, like, there's no magic to making something adaptive. It's just the choice that you're not going to let your scenario dictate you doing this or not. So whether it's duct tape and 550 cord, or it's like a, you know, custom built piece of equipment, they both do the same thing. Mm-hmm. You know, and we've done adaptive kayaking, man. That's a lot of it is duct tape and foam, and you're like building up a seat, and like, it's, you know, it doesn't look pretty, but all we were trying to do is make somebody comfortable out on the water so they can integrate seamlessly. You know, that's the whole concept of adaptations, is that they should be able to participate and not feel like an outsider. They should be, even, you know, even if I'm in a track chair and you're in this, or, you know, like, whatever the difference is, like, we should all be on the same playing field. Maybe not, I shouldn't say like that, but we should all be able to enjoy and have camaraderie within the same activity.
Exactly.
You know?
Yes,
and part of the beauty of that is most of the time it turns into a team building effort, because, you know, I'm not going to sit and watch somebody I like or care about struggle, you know, like, so I'm going to, you know, they're going to help them with this. You're going to help them load your chair, like, just coming down this pier today. That was a team effort. Mm-hmm. A long ass way to push a wheelchair. You know what I mean? And so that all, you know, I think it's simple. I think if we are successful and we create this place that harbors passion and purpose, that we're going to have a ripple effect that is probably immeasurable.
Yep.
You know, it'll probably be something that we really just can't even grasp the effect that it has. And you know, I don't know if I said this before or not, but like when I started the foundation, I didn't want to duplicate services. There's already people kayaking. There's already people doing art therapy. There's already people teaching music. There's already people doing all types of things. If they're not operating here, it's because they don't have a place to operate. So if we build a place to do that, there's an unlimited amount of resources that we can bring to this coastal bend community and further south. Well, I kind of look at it like the field of dreams, dude. You build it, they will come. People will come out of the woodworks to support this thing, and they will put programming through this that I can't dream of, you know. And so where we're at, you know, currently is we own the 5 acres. So we have acquired the 5 acres. Currently, we have financing on it, and that is under my name. And so me and my wife pay that mortgage every month to keep this dream alive. And so that's one of our goals this year, is to attempt to find donors, or, you know, a donor or donors that would be willing to pay off the property so we can sign it into the foundation's name. And the only reason it's not currently is because legally I cannot due to my financing terms. But I have the documentation written up and ready. If somebody's willing to sign a check, I'm willing to sign it over as they're signing that check. You know, I have committed that property to this purpose for a long time now, and that is what it's meant for. Even if for some reason we were to not succeed someday, I would sell that property and donate the proceeds to another nonprofit. You know, like that's what it's for. And it's bigger than me. It's like God is telling me this property needs to do this. Like, and there's been many things in my life that have way too many to go through, but like scenarios where I like was frustrated, or I was like, well, how am I gonna pull this off? Because I get asked that a lot, because this facility is gonna cost around $10 million to build an outfit. It's about 10 million, 9.4 to be specific. Where am I gonna come up with $10 million? I don't know. But I do know that it's worth fighting for, and that it's a worthy mission to put my effort and time towards. And that's what I do full time. You know, I work on the ranch, you know, almost 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. And I don't get paid. I do it because I love it. And I believe in this. It's like, you know, I don't have any other, it's hard to put it in any other way, any other words than I just believe, man. And I have blind hope and blind faith. I believe I'm one conversation away from somebody writing a check to build this whole place, you know, and because I see that much value in it, and I know the power of that type of treatment. And that's not to say that, you know, doctors and pills and therapists and stuff like that, they have a purpose and they do great things. I'm not anti-medications. I'm anti, you know, multiple medications, but I'm not anti-drugs. I'm not anti-doctor. You know, I think that there's a gap between what happens in the doctor's office and real life. And I think you have to have something, and that's what I call that passion and purpose, to keep you going when the shit hits the fan. You start peeling back the layers of what you're dealing with, and you realize this is not going to be fun. You know, because it's going to get worse. It does.
Yeah.
It gets worse before it gets better, because you start opening up these boxes that you closed a long time ago, and that's what you're learning how to do, is how to shut that thing again. Like, you don't always do a good job in an hour session in a doctor's office.
That or open up the boxes and actually get them removed out of there instead of being a hoarder of.
Yeah, I think that takes time though. And so
Yeah.
I don't know that you can just unburden once and that.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
No, exactly. Yes,
It's a
that is
process
a process, but that's the beauty of this thing. Like, we're not building it so it's a one-time. Hey, thanks for coming.
Oh,
no, we want people to come over and over, and
I want to do alumni reunions. I want to have specific events every year that are for people who have attended events in the past. You know, it's other events will be open to like new participants. I want to foster a community that extends way beyond the facility. Like, when you leave there, you should have phone numbers in your phone. You should have a list of resources to, you know, either pursue gear, purchase gear, or get grants for gear for this new activity, whatever it may be that you like. And there's places that, you know, I hope the foundation can afford that someday, that we can even give these guys the tools to continue these, to continue these activities when they go home, depending on what it is.
that and their families to be able to
Right.
actually
Well,
integrate.
That's something that I want to do, and I want to do something a little different in our programming, and I'm a military brat, dude. I grew up, my dad deploying, you know, in that family and in that life, and I want to include them more than I feel like other programs do, because, you know, I think I would have had an easier time if my family had more education on what was going on with me. But I didn't know, I didn't know either. But, you know, when these guys go home, that's who catches the shit. You know, and they deserve just as much thanks and gratitude for their service to that veteran in this country as that veteran does. You know, and if not more, sometimes, you know what I mean? Because they're dealing with the fallout at home. Not your command, not your friends, your family is. So it's really important to me that we have programming centered around families, and that I think, you know, there's a place for the veteran to separate and do their own thing and discover things on their own. But I think there's a real place for them to do it together too, where that adds value as a family and bonding and just creating memories, and you know, and maybe it's a passion the whole family gets excited about. That's dope. I mean, you know, that's the kind of thing that gets me excited, where I'm like, you know, what if we introduce this guy to fishing and he goes home, takes the whole kids out, they come out the other pier and have a day like this, dude. Like that, I can't quantify how happy that makes me, just to think about the possibility of that. You know, it's
Seeing that come full circle will be immeasurable.
It's gonna happen. I'm the dreamer in this whole thing, and I know it's gonna happen. Like there's been too many twists and turns that were a God moment where I should have failed or something should have happened, and we're still here. We're still trucking. We're in year 3. You know, gaining traction. You know, I'm ready to start asking for that. You know, I wasn't really. You know, I had to figure out what I was doing here first too with this whole organization, and you know, I knew what I wanted to do, but now I'm ready to ask for it. You know, and that's a different thing.
Yeah.
That's a different thing. Like putting your hand out for $10 million is a whole weird feeling inside that is scary, and you know, there's a lot of learning with this thing. Like, I'm not a, you know, business owner or a businessman. You know, I just care. I care enough, and I'm tired of watching, you know, nothing happen. And I feel like the success of this could be the blueprint to empower rural areas all over the country. You know, that's a long-term dream, obviously, but
well, you never know.
Well, you never know. You know, we got to get this first one knocked out.
It can be the spark that lights up that wildfire. You know,
yeah,
takes over the whole thing.
Yeah, so. I hope so. And like, you know, my whole goal with this thing is to just be able to take guys fishing and it not cost money, my money. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even, you know, if I want to collect a paycheck someday, like, I just want to not have to pay to do this.
Right.
Like, be able to take guys out for it, not have to worry about, you know. Right now, we got to go check the bank account because we're a small organization. But like, I don't want to have to worry. I want somebody to come to me and say, "Hey, man, I'm struggling." I put the boat in the water. 10 minutes later, and we go.
Right.
You know, like that's where the power is, man. Is when somebody's reached out to help, and you drop everything to just be there. You know, like it's people did it for me. You know, and even when I didn't care about myself or believe in myself, that alone is why I wanted to get better. So I pay it forward. So.
I just felt the wind change.
Yeah, I did too. A little coolness on it.
Yeah.
That cold front must be coming in early. There was supposed to be a cold front come tonight.
Let's see. Let me check.
Dang, who I am. I'm pretty sure I did it now that I think about it.
Let's do it like this.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Team Heart Life Captain Albert Sartucci. I'm here with Doug from the Redford Foundation.
Redford Ranch Foundation.
Redford Ranch Foundation. But I don't know his last name. We've
I
done that too many times already. Still don't know his last name. But.
Doug Grazins. You say that Grazins? It's like raisins with a G.
Yeah. Grazins. Yeah. That should be pretty easy to remember. Cause
that took me many years to learn that trick, but you know, well, down here everybody tries to roll the R like a Hispanic. Yeah. I get that a lot. Yeah.
It's the redhead.
Yeah. For sure. I just want to let you guys know where you can find us, man. We're at www.redfordranch.org. We have updates on our website pretty regularly. There's some more information about the wellness center and the plans and the location. You can get a hold of us that way. We put a lot of our events on Facebook. I'm learning the website, so eventually the events will be on the website, but I'm not a computer guy, so bear with me. Facebook, Instagram, you can find us, Redford Ranch Foundation. We are an IRS registered nonprofit, so any donation to us is a tax deduction. These events that we do out here, you know, with a couple of veterans out and stuff, we can't do them without your help. So anything helps. Even if it's just a share of a post or share this video, you never know what that will generate. It can be quite the ripple effect. So even if you can't support us monetarily, just share these videos and get the word out, and keep an eye on what we're doing. And if you want to sign up, please sign up. RedfordRanch.org. Can't miss us.
That too, guys. With all these videos that we are posting out, like you said, even if you can't monetarily donate, like, share, subscribe, get the information out there. Maybe you might hit the right person we need to talk to be able to help out the foundation above and beyond. So let that butterfly wings flap, man, because you just never know what the butterfly effect will do, guys. So we definitely appreciate it. Doug?
I got one more. If you'd like to know a little more and you want to get a hold of me personally, it's Doug at redfordranch.org. Easy day. DOUG.
But bro,
yep. Thank you, brother. Had a great time, man.
I've been motivated on so many levels because, like I said, this was something that I thought about 22 years ago, you know, and again, too, finances, resources, and all of that.
It's not cheap.
Well, they weren't available at that time.
Yeah.
Like, it really wasn't. Like, I was talking about what I want to do. People were just looking at me like I was crazy. So now, it's not there. Like, we're not in that same position anymore. Right. So I'm definitely using everything I have to help out. I encourage everybody on the channel to do the same, guys. And maybe you might know somebody that can help us out.
And look for those First Friday fishing groups with Albert every month.
Every month.
For at least 9 months out of the year, for sure.
Why 9?
Just kidding.
I thought fish don't get scared of bad weather.
I'm just kidding. Yeah. First Friday of every month. That's the plan right now. Weather dependent, obviously. If it's unsafe, we have to call it. But other than that, we're not. We'll be there first Friday. And pay attention to Albert's page or our page. We'll announce the location. We'll change it up a little bit, but we're gonna have some fun, catch some fish.
The more the merrier, guys. Y'all have a blessed one.